Here we go again! Earlier this month, a few images were leaked online from an Artstation profile who claimed to work on Make Your Mark. Dog. And I believe that these few upcoming images are in fact from the fabled Chapter 6. But don't get your hopes up, because it might just be scrapped concept art. Chapter 6 is on the horizon, as in the time of recording, it is exactly 1 month away. So far, we have a limited amount of information about what is actually going to happen in Chapter 6. We have story plot lines up, we have Chapter 5 to look at, but we don't really know, do we? In Chapter 5, it was said that Opaline is going to pull a Starlight Glimmer and steal everyone's butt tattoos. So Chapter 6 is probably going to follow something at least similar to that. And in a leaked slideshow presentation, it is revealed the final special of all of Make Your Mark, at least until it comes back, if it ever does. The final special is called Secrets of Starlight. Secrets of Starlight? Like Starlight Glimmer? The G4 character? Maybe, but also maybe not. Don't get your hopes up. I mean, Secrets of Starlight. Starlight is literally another name for the light that stars give out. Starlight. And it could just be talking about the secrets of the night sky. It doesn't have to be this character. But it is a little bit weird how we think Chapter 6 is going to be about stealing butt tattoos, and it's named Secrets of Starlight when there's a character named Starlight Glimmer who did the exact same thing in the last series. So maybe, if this is what the name is about, don't expect Starlight to actually show up, because it's Secrets of Starlight. It's not Starlight in person, it's Secrets of Starlight herself. But I mean, it would be cool. It would be cool if Starlight did show up, like, in a time bubble. She's known for doing time travel magic. She could just straight up teleport to the future. That could honestly, maybe, actually. That'd be awesome. But don't get your hopes up. Secrets of Starlight could literally just be talking about the sky, the secrets of the night sky. And now onto the concept art that was leaked. On Artstation, a 3D modeler of Make Your Mark released a bunch of screenshots. And because they make episodes so many months in advance, Chapter 6 is probably done and just waiting on being published right now. So it makes sense why all these environments are already done. All the screenshots are things that we've seen before. I mean, Misty's bedrooms, this cottage, but there are 2 screenshots that we have never seen before. These are 2 screenshots of presumably the same room. I've heard a lot of people saying that this is Zephyr Heights. Open your eyes, it is not Zephyr Heights. Zephyr Heights is harsh concrete walls, white and gold. It is not like this crystal blue cold that does not fit any locations we know of so far. If we take this Artstation leak at 100% face value, and it's not cut concept art, and this is absolutely, without a doubt, a location that will show up in Make Your Mark, Chapter 6, then I have a few theories being cooked up in my good old noggin. I believe that this room will be used in a flashback scene back to the School of Friendship, where Starlight Glimmer, Secrets of Starlight, was the head mare there. Maybe throughout the entirety of Chapter 6, we'll get small little snippets back into the past of the events that happened that made Twilight Sparkle lock magic away. You still good? He doesn't know what I'm talking about. He's a dog. So this is complete and utter speculation. I have no basis for this information. But I think in this Crystal Hall, in the School of Friendship, because this is obviously a school, look at all these benches, I believe that Twilight Sparkle will make an appearance, and she will talk to Starlight Glimmer about her plan to lock magic away to stop Opaline. Wait a minute. Didn't Twilight's reign last for like centuries? And if she's talking to Starlight Glimmer, did Starlight Glimmer discover some kind of immortality spell? Or is she just like super crusty and old? I believe that G5 is non-canonizing the events of the last problem, the final episode of G4. Nowhere has it ever said in the canon events of G5 that Twilight had a long rule. I actually believe that Twilight's reign was very short-lived, as in like a decade or 2. In Chapter 5, Episode 4, there is a character named Elderflower who is crazy. But the fact is that this character says that she was alive during the Changeling invasion, as of the exact same one that happened in G4, and she's not dead yet. That's some pretty good evidence that not only did Twilight not have a very long reign, but the fact that that Elderflower is still alive means that the events between G4 and G5 are significantly shorter than we thought they were. I would also like to supplement the information. In all the flashbacks we see of Twilight, like saying she's gonna lock away the magic, even the hologram she shows up in, Twilight does not look like the one in the final problem. So I'm gonna put up the theory that Twilight did not reign very long as ruler. Twilight had like a decade or two of like actual ruling time, and then Equestria fell. Wow, I bet Celestia and Luna feel pretty dumb about for giving up their position. If we take Elderflower and say that she was alive during the Changeling invasion, if we really stretch how old she is, let's say in the events of G5, she's 105, because 5 years, she was at least old enough to remember the Changeling invasion, so she must have been at least 5, right? That means that like only 100 years passed between the events of G4 and G5, which honestly, I prefer it being like a millennia, like 1,000 years between the events of G4 and G5. Honestly, Elderflower kind of screws up the timeline really badly, because all of our assumptions up to this point has been that the events of G4 were like 1,000 years ago, and then Elderflower comes up and says, actually, just kidding. I'm going to hold off talking about Elderflower anymore, because she screws up the timeline so freaking badly that it's an entire other video on itself. So we're gonna ignore it for a minute, and let's get to the conclusion of this. My final theory that wraps this all up. Chapter 6 is gonna focus on stopping Opaline from pulling the Starlight Glimmer and stealing everyone's cutie marks. The main 5 plus Misty goes to the Dragonlands to either warn the dragons or stop Opaline from killing the dragons, or to stop the dragons from going on Opaline's side. Because of this foot we saw in Chapter 5, Spike may make an appearance, and somehow through dragon magic, or maybe Starlight Glimmer actually genuinely shows up in the flesh and blood, somehow we will see flashbacks of the past. Whether it's a Dragonfire-induced hallucination coma, or it's Opaline monologuing about the fall of Equestria, or it's Starlight Glimmer herself telling her side of the story. Call my theory stupid, I don't care, but I believe that is what's going to happen in Chapter 6 of Make Your Mark. The final chapter, or at least till Hasbro gets their crap together and makes another chapter of Make Your Mark, which might never happen. It might be over.
Hello, I'm recording at midnight, so I have to keep my voice down low. Don't question why my OS is Windows Vista. In case you still had doubts that this is either Twilight's castle or the School of Friendship, take a look at this giant starburst on the ground, aka Twilight's cutie mark. This door back here also looks a lot like the storybook from episode 1 of season 1, and in what I am calling the throne room, there's a bunch of starbursts, not only hanging in midair, but also in the stained glass window. I mean, because there's so many starbursts around, and the fact that this is a crystal castle, I mean, this has to be a flashback. There's no way it can be anything else.
So the theory part of the video is basically done, but I do want to touch on this for a minute. I've heard from multiple sources, not only in my comment section, but also in Equestria Daily and on Twitter, that Make Your Marks is not over. I've heard that Hasbro is taking a 1-year break from My Little Pony to get their stuff together, get their company together, and then they'll continue making Make Your Mark episodes a year from now, which I would like to believe. but everything I talk about is unconfirmed. I mean, these screenshots could be faked. I don't know. Anyway, sorry for the short video. Goodbye.